Redesigned Service Studio. Well, with 6.0, we've really decided to revamp Service Studio. After all, it's the integrated development environment of the platform, and it's where developers spend the vast majority of their time with the platform. We've therefore decided to provide it with a gorgeous skin, the ability to have visibility over my server, provide increased visibility over the different application layers and provide a way to navigate them, and finally the ability to browse apps at OutSystems. Let me show you a bit of this in the actual Service Studio. To start with, I'm actually going to go from the Sales app and say I want to install and change it in my environment. And in this case, to launch Service Studio for me, if I didn't have Service Studio, it would actually prompt for the download. You can see that the first time I start Service Studio, I actually get prompted to create my very own private sandbox in the cloud for me to try out the platform. What it's doing right now is really creating my own server in the cloud where I can do pretty much everything or almost everything I can do with the platform and try out. And it's actually installing for me the sales application, which I was just seeing a moment ago. Now, the page you're seeing is probably the first page that most people will see when they open Service Studio 6.0. And you can see that the first thing we provide is really visibility over my server. I have obviously the indication of which server am I connected to and a view over which applications I have installed in my server. Since I just came from the website, from the install and change button in the sales application, I actually get prompted with a tutorial which I can just click next and see what it does. Well, the first thing it does is actually open up the sales application in my sandbox. You can see that everything was set up for me in the sandbox, including the sample data, everything. If I go back to Service Studio, I actually have a short tutorial explaining me how to do a specific change, which in this case is uploading a proposal. I will actually close the tutorial now. And what I really wanted to show you here is the changes to Service Studio. The first thing you'll notice is probably that everything is very, very clean and I would say pretty actually in Service Studio. It doesn't feel cluttered as sometimes the old version of Service Studio did. You'll notice that we now have what was formerly the eSpace tree. It has been broken down to improve navigation visibility into a process layer, user interface layer, a business logic layer, and a data layer. So this is now much easier to find and to grasp, and you don't have to scroll through a long list of things. You'll also notice this big one-click publish button, and we have really increased, its size and improved its location, because this is like one of the most important things you do in the platform. And this is something you do all the time, and it's really one of the things which is unique to the platform, which takes this model to your server, generates the code, compiles it, deploys it, etc. There's a huge amount of power hidden below this one button, which needs to be highlighted. And finally, every single button or menu has been reviewed to make sure things fit in better with the use cases of actual Service Studio usage. I just wanted to show you two more things in Service Studio. One is that we've slightly revised the way help and how-tos are proposed by using this search box here, and the appearance of an OutSystems tab, which includes every app of apps at OutSystems, allowing you to install one directly from here without having to go through the website, for instance.